A report has come out this morning that Dillon Brooks and Kyle Anderson are, quote, available for the right price on the trade market during this offseason. And so today I want to talk about those trade rumors, how legitimate I think they are, and what that could mean for Memphis, and how they could continue their busy offseason in the trade market moving forward. And so let's just jump right into it. I want to start about talking about Kyle Anderson, and then we will move to Dillon Brooks. Kyle Anderson to me makes complete sense. Kyle Anderson is a free agent at the end of the season, similar to JV when he was traded. He was also going to be a free agent at the end of the year. And given the fact that they are not young guys, maybe not pieces that they consider essential to their core, they're not all-star caliber players, which if they're going to bring in vets, that's probably the type of players they're looking to bring in. And so that is probably the reason why they wanted to move on from JV, get a little bit of value back for him, although they didn't exactly get a ton, but they did get a little bit via the draft in terms of moving up some spots. But nonetheless, they'll probably try to do something similar with Kyle Anderson, and that's something I was expecting moving into this offseason, is that as much as Kyle Anderson and Jonas Valanciunas were important parts of this team last year, given how Memphis have run things, how smart they have been with acquiring assets, bringing in players that are lesser known, or just being good little picks late in the draft and making them valuable. And then I think it definitely makes sense that now in a scenario with Kyle Anderson, where he is age 27, he doesn't perfectly fit the timeline of this team. They're probably not going to want to repay him, and so trading him to try and get some value back definitely makes sense. He'll be 28 before the season starts. He'll be 29 by the time his new deal starts if they were to re-sign him, and that's just probably not the timeline that Memphis are interested in. Kyle Anderson is going to be a very good player. There'll definitely be some teams that are interested in him. He was a 12-point per game scorer last year, the first time he hit double digits in his career, and I don't see any reason why he can't do that again. His three-point shooting took a massive leap in improvement last year. He also has proven to be a fairly good playmaker for the small forward spot. Flomo is just a solid player. He's going to do well for you on the offensive end, and he can give you a little bit of defense as well. He's a proven vet in this league, has some good valuable time with San Antonio, as well as now with Memphis, and I'm sure there'll be several teams that are interested in him in the trade market. What is more puzzling to me, though, the fact that Dillon Brooks has been included on this list, and that one seems a lot more to me like, yeah, we do have to pay him in 2 years. We gave him his first extension. Still has 2 more years left at 12.2 and 11.4 million. And sure, if someone gives us a crazy good offer, we will take it before we have to pay him if it involves not having to acquire more salary, or if it involves being able to acquire a star with Dillon Brooks and other of their young assets, because they have such a plethora of young assets right now that they can't even play all of them. There's no guarantee Jarrett Culver's even going to be able to play next year, even though they just acquired him as a reclamation project. They just have so much talent. Power forward, they have three guys that could play. There's just so much talent, right? It is an absolute abundance. But in my opinion, Dillon Brooks, alongside JV, was arguably the second best player on this team last year, and I think has the potential to just continue improving. And I think Memphis realized that, and I think Memphis realized how important he is to this team. And I would be very, very surprised if they traded Dillon Brooks unless it was for an absolute massive haul. This is someone who has now spent 4 years in the league, has improved in each and every season, minus the fact that in year 2 he didn't do anything much simply due to his injury. But year 1, year 3 to year 4 are all improvements. Last year, towards the back end of the year and in the playoffs, he was arguably the best player on both ends of the floor for the Memphis Grizzlies, being their best offensive player as far as the shot creator and bucket getter, and obviously being their best perimeter defender. He is an extremely impactful player. He is still only 25. I think he still has more continued room for improvement on the offensive end. He's one of the most tenacious and best lockdown perimeter defenders in the NBA. And that just seems like a Memphis mentality, Memphis type of guy. He's like Tony Allen with actual offensive abilities. That's pretty darn special. And I don't think you can just give that up. I don't think Memphis are going to be overly willing to give that up. I think he's a bit more of a, if you want to give us a crap ton, sure, we'll listen. But I think Kyle Anderson is a bit more of a scenario where he is probably likely to be traded from this Memphis team before the upcoming trade deadline. in this year's season. That being said, that is my thoughts on Memphis Grizzlies trade rumors about Dillon Brooks and Kyle Anderson. It is worth noting I am going to post another video about Dillon Brooks and how similar he is in his development and his play style to Jimmy Butler. I'll be posting that video in the next few weeks. Be sure to stay tuned for that if you want to hear my thoughts more on Dillon Brooks and how valuable he is to this Memphis Grizzlies team and his similarities to Jimmy Butler. That being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.